on to you, Aquarius. So you have the Moon, the Seven of Swords, and the Eight of Swords. Okay. So these three cards right here are all about some more self-reflection, pretty much. A lot of you are trying to figure out, well, how is it that you can make your interactions with others better for you, and which in turn you can feel better about yourselves. And self-reflection, number one, is one of the first things that you can do. Okay, that's one of the things that you can do first and foremost. Most people don't even get to a point where they self-reflect. They don't learn anything. They don't do this. They don't think of themselves as ever having to learn anything. Millions of people don't self-reflect, which is why it is that I asked the question, are they psychopaths? Are they dealing with that problem? Because psychopaths don't reflect. They don't learn their lesson. A lot of the times they don't learn their lesson. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, and it usually takes them longer than usual for them to learn the lesson. So the thing is that the Ten of Wands and the Knight of Swords is about how you don't want to have to keep coming and going. You meet somebody, and then the two of you go through like you have a good time, go through a honeymoon phase, and then now it's time for you to actually leave again. You don't want to keep doing that over and over and over again with somebody, because you and the person are you're two bumping heads. You're too combative to actually get anywhere. And the best way for you to not essentially go through that situation, honestly, is for you to, like it is, I said before, kind of see where the relationship is going. And if you don't like where it's going, and the person isn't, completely ignorant, or the person isn't ignorant or delusional or stupid, you should be able to talk to them. But then if you're not able to talk to them, then it means that that's an indication that you should just pick up and bounce. Like if they're ignorant, like they're dysfunctional, then more than likely it's a decision that you should really be staying away from them, But there's nothing wrong with having having a discussion with this person and communicating with them that you want things to actually change for the better, right? So the Temperance now is about how, and you have to use your wisdom, okay? Not everybody you should just run out on. Ghosting everybody is not necessarily the answer to your problems. When I say ghost, when I talk about ghost, when I use ghosting, I'm talking about the idea of just leaving the situation, specifically only when a person is ignorant. They're combative. They don't like to listen. They ditzy. They stupid. They don't really like to listen. They don't learn their lessons. They're just dumb. They're just dealing with a lot of delusion, a lot of self-importance. Obviously, they have some sort of mental issue. They're just wrapped up in their own detached ideology of how they perceive the world, and everyone is wrapped up in it to a certain extent. But what makes you, one of the things of what makes you healthy is you wanting to understand how the world works, so that you can move in a different way, a way that's better than the delusion. Because we all start off as little ones, not knowing delusion. Then we get to a certain age, and then we learn the delusion, and then we have to spend the rest of our lives learning how to not be delusional because of our own thoughts and first impressions of something. We have to do the research to a situation to find out the real stuff, to now not be delusional. That's what we spend our lives doing. So when a person is at a certain age and they're delusional, this is why it is that I say that ultimately, right, you have grown people, grown up children at large, in the sense, and what I mean by that is people who are legally, older than, I want to say, than 18. They're way past the age of 18. But these are people where they're dealing with a very skewed form of perception. And why all of that is important in the first place is because you don't want to be with someone like this, but most importantly, you wouldn't want to be someone like this. So all of this self-reflection is supposed to bring you some form of answer. Part of the problem that some of you Aquarius may be having is, once again, you're over complicating relationships and if it works. This is why I keep saying this over and over and over and over and over and over again. The problem that some of you are having, see, y'all are getting hard-headed. The problem that some of y'all are having is that you don't understand free will. See, you only want to understand free will from your perspective. And people should understand free will when it comes to you. But you're not understanding that part of the reason why you're going through stuff is, once again, the people that you have interacted with are not on point. So you're going after the people who are not on point, and then you're wondering, well, what exactly is happening here? They're not on point. So stop going after them. When you are getting to know them, right, the Nine of Pentacles, when you are getting to, first and foremost, you're supposed to have your own stuff going on, and you're supposed to be able to actually share that with somebody. I don't know how people expect, not necessarily just you, but I don't know how people in general expect to have the mentality of, my stuff is my stuff, your stuff is your stuff. But we're still in a relationship, though. It's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you're supposed to share resources. And people do not understand the ideology of sharing. But what I wanted to say was, or the idea, not the ideology, the idea, but what I wanted to say was even greater than that, was the fact that you, Aquarius, when you are getting to know them, you don't understand that once you see that they are dysfunctional, stop hanging out with them. You're not supposed to give them another chance. Well, they've shown me that they're dysfunctional because, they be pitching cards on the corner. You know what I mean when I say pitching cards? They be, changing the cards around on this soapbox, and they be propping it up on them little crates that you saw from the crate challenge and all this other type of stuff. They flipping these cards and propping them around. They done showed you that they did that. They done told you that they did that for a living. And then now it's, well, I'll give them a, no. I'll give them a chance. No, that's the end of the conversation. No, that's the end of the relationship. That relationship is not going to get any better. That relationship is not going to get any better. Why? Because what is the person telling you, Aquarius? The person is telling you that they are a hustler. Which means, what is a hustler? A hustler is a trickster, a person that gets what they get, right? What they're looking for, okay, with manipulative tactics. Straight up, manipulative tactics. So they rarely approach somebody fair and square. And I hope YouTube don't hit me for this, but they rarely approach anybody fair and square, where it's actually justified, upright, transparent, above the table. It's always some low life stuff. And not in a matter of low life in a sense of remaining humble. It's always some low life in a matter of character. So the Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups represents you, Aquarius, have to start interacting. See, this is the problem with Aquarius. There's the problem with Libra. There's the problem with Gemini. There's the problem with Virgo. This is the problem with all of the zodiac signs that don't represent the animals. We got a lot of stuff going for us. We're intelligent. We have a lot of stuff going for us. But the problem that those four zodiac, and I'm a Virgo saying this, the problem with all of those four zodiac signs is that we like to deal in the underworld too much. As smart as it is that we are, we like to be in the in the gangster stuff too much. We like to be in the underworld and be around in the places where they flip birds and they do all this other stuff, and that is what it is that we have to learn to graduate from, because we can't keep complaining or be upset that people don't have our back. And I used to do this myself, as far as get upset when people don't have my back. But then I used to pay attention to the quality of the people that I was having around me. How am I going to be able to be so upset when these people are dysfunctional? They can't stop smoking what they smoking. They can't stop smoking that green. They need it every day. They're not trying to get a job. They're not trying to make a business. They're not trying to be a small business owner. They're not trying to invest. They're not trying to do anything. They're trying to lean on me to make all of the purchases. I'm not their parent. I'm not their guardian. So I had to stop hanging out with them. Same thing with the people that I was dating. Same thing. Same thing with you. You like the underworld too much. You like the underworld too much. And the Page of Wands and the Ten of Cups represents just that. Start giving your attention to better quality people. Instead of worrying about what these individuals are doing, start giving your attention to better quality people. The Page of Pentacles represents you'll be a lot happier if you did. And if you don't get happy, listen to me. If you don't get happy from hanging out with better quality people, then you need to go and do some reflection, because it means, Aquarius, it means that there's something wrong with you by definition. Because one of the best days of my life was when I stopped hanging out with those individuals that are dysfunctional. And that was literally 10 years, coming up on 11 years ago. It was literally my birthday, 2013. That's when I literally stopped talking to them. Officially, I was done. And they never decided to chase up on after me. And it was not anything personal, right? To say that I had something personal against them, even though I could have. It was never that. It was just the idea of, I got to spread my wings and fly. But at the same time, I was trying to get out for a while. They were stalking me. They still do, to a certain extent, some of them. But they was following me around when I was in school. They would show up at my school, wait for me to get out of school, out of classes. They was following me around. They was doing that stuff. They, you know what I'm saying? They was doing all that type of stuff. They wasn't trying to listen to when I was trying to tell them to give me some space or whatnot. They didn't understand the idea of personal space. Even if I wasn't necessarily against them per se, they didn't understand. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that I made it a point to get out, and I was happy. When I stopped hanging out with them, I was already, like I said before, working on my book. My book was already written out. I was trying to find a place to publish it or how to publish it. I ain't know how to essentially publish it. So guess what it is that I did? I was trying to find out a way to publish it for that whole year from 2013 with no luck. Boom. Up until my birthday. Boom. When I literally stopped doing that, 2 days in the mail after I stopped hanging out with them, a publishing business was like, hey, We'll go ahead and publish it if you want. So literally stuff moved. Nah, a lot of y'all gotta get away from the nonsense. Let's clarify the Ten of Cups. Three of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the Magician. Right. The Three of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, you got to start being with people that have a good head on their shoulders, know what they want. And it's boring. Everybody want this so many people want this excitement. You need to be with boring people in order to get things done. Everybody wants this excitement, this, one day I want to fly, sprout wings. Then the next day I want to go scuba diving. Then the next day I want to be an astronaut. I want to go directly to space. I want to be on SpaceX. When SpaceX finally perfects their rocket ship that goes to Mars. Listen, sometimes being with boring people that are consistent, that have a regiment, that know what they're doing, is the best thing for you to do. The Knight of Pentacles and the and the Magician, right? Are all about how, because it's better to do that than for you to be hanging out with hustlers and shysters that you know good and well that you can't really trust, but they bring exorbitant amounts of excitement, but they can't actually show you anything.